What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? This is the Peace Dealer, and I'm rocking with my brother Darius, my brother Darius Mills. I'm not gonna lie, the first video we did, I showed up wearing red. He showed up wearing red. Now I'm showing up wearing black. He's got the black shirt. We didn't plan this. We weren't like, hey, I'm gonna wear black, man. You wear black too. So yeah, I think that's pretty amazing. But other than that, shout out to those of y'all joining us live. I think you remember just a short few days ago, brother Darius blessed us with a free energy attunement. If you haven't seen that and you're watching this video, you definitely want to check that out, at least after this one. It'll be well more than worth it. And what we're going to do this episode is look more into breaking down the specialties of each Conjure oil and seeing which one is good for you. Shout out to Imani. She said, I watched one of your lives and I made $800 that shit. So, I mean, this is a man, everyone who I've ever known to work with him has results, myself included, just off of some, basic fundamental thought exercises. So, first of all, as I'll always ask, how are you and what's up with Vietnam?
Man, it's good. I just came from the gym. I'm feeling pumped. I'm good. I'm very good, man. How was Las Vegas?
It's great. I mean, I can go out now and the sun is freaking beating warm and it's warm at night. So I really like the warm weather. And other than that, I mean, it looks like they might open the stadium soon. We'll see. Who knows?
Nice. All right. I always forget that COVID is like because in Vietnam, life is like normal, dude. Like I'm at the gym, I'm doing this. I only know about COVID when I talk to people in America. It's
right.
Crazy.
America's a show, bro. Now they're saying if you're vaccinated fully, you can go outside without a mask. So they're pushing that right now.
Okay, that's legit. It's making progress.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, shout out to y'all showing love. Other than that, this is, really, 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 really awesome because leaving off on a note, we left on before, we're dealing with a profound element of really tapping into one's dominant planet. And we're going to go a little bit more into that. So first and foremost, just a semi-unrelated question. What made you passionate about oils? Because I know before you were definitely into, you went by the Hoodoo King and you were definitely more, tapped into the ancestors and like really just doing hoodoo. And then I think it clicked with you that oil was the right way to go. So, how did that become your passion? It is frozen. Okay. Oh, he's coming back.
Oh, that was my connection. My bad. Okay. I thought it was you. All right.
Oh, no, what happened again? And Scar, if you got blocked by your soulmate, take it as a badge of honor and just move forward. And yeah, as they say, let it go. Yeah. Oh, that's wild. Oh, snap. Interference right off the bat. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. That's hilarious.
Are we back? All right.
Yeah, we good.
Okay. Awesome. All right, cool. You were saying something. I don't know what happened.
No, you're straight, bro. I was actually wanting to know, like, because you initially focused on hoodoo, that of which was also powerful. So your original hoodoo courses as the Hoodoo King and like really tapping the ancestors and like really connecting. So really, what is it that made you realize oils is it? What sparked your
Ooh.
for oils as opposed to other parts of hoodoo?
Man, I think it was the fact that with oils I could incorporate every aspect of the magic I knew. With hoodoo, it was this. With regular spirituality, it was this. Crystals, it was this. With oils, I could apply all of those concepts and those magical principles to this one oil because oil, like water, holds energy very receptively, right? So it's very easy to add energy to oil and have that oil maintain that energy. So because I was doing candle magic and I was working with crystals and sacred geometry and the law of attraction and all these other things, I could always apply these different concepts to this one focus of oils and have every aspect of hoodoo, conjure, Solomonic magic, other forms of magic, just, things of that nature, shamanism, witchcraft, all applied to this one central oil to hold all of those different energies while still manifesting one specific thing. So it just worked in the best way in terms of ease. It was easy, honestly, just the easiest way to go.
Simplicity, and what I always love to hear you say as well is the whole notion of you being able to stick that energy to the oil and not having to do it each time over and over.
Right. Yes. Because oil is going to hold the energy much more than water. We all know water is a great conduit of energy, but water loses that energy very quickly because it's just thin. It's very quick moving. Water kind of just comes and goes, right? Oil is a slow moving liquid. It's going to hold the energy longer and allow you to really reap the benefits of the energy you've added into the oil, for sure.
Beautiful. And, how long have you been doing oil? When was that breakthrough for you?
Oh, yeah. So my very first oil was the most miraculous one. That's why I'm so big on teaching beginners, because I had the biggest result for my very first oil. So I made a road opener oil, which is like to remove blockages, to open up doors of opportunity, right? To open up doors for different avenues to flow through you and to you. So I made my first oil in December of 2019. 2019. After I made the oil, I kept getting signs and guidance I was in Korea at the time. I was living in South Korea, and I kept getting signs and guidance to move from Korea to go to Vietnam. Mind you, I've never even considered moving to Vietnam. I never thought about it. It was never my agenda. It was the first time I'd ever received any type of guidance to move to Vietnam and live there. So I made the oil on a Wednesday, bought my plane ticket on a Friday, moved to Vietnam on a Monday. By the following month, COVID blew up. It wasn't existing when I made that oil. 30 days later, COVID became a thing, and where I was living in South Korea was exactly where COVID was going to be. So had I not made that oil, I would have been still living in that location, and I would have got COVID. So with my first oil, I was able to avoid a global pandemic because Vietnam, COVID isn't here. Life is normal here. So I was able to go from one country that has crazy COVID to the perfect country which has zero COVID. And it feels free here. I feel so free here. I can do whatever I want. And yeah, so my first oil was the most miraculous one. So I've been doing oils for a year and a half, maybe a year and a little bit more than that, like very short amount of time frame. And the results I've gotten for myself, it's awesome. But more importantly, the results I've gotten for my students is even better. I'm talking to people who never made an oil, make their first oil, getting new homes, manifesting millions in revenue, 300K here, 70K there. This is a really good story. One of my students made an oil, and a guy, while she's walking down the street, a guy said, "Hey, here's $600. God said, give you this money." So she was just walking down the street, and someone randomly gave her $600. That same day, she had a BMW. That car broke down. She took it to the shop. And if you don't know anything about BMWs, there are specific types of shops to go to that are always more expensive than the casual car to fix it, right? She went in. They said it would cost $10,000. This couple that was sitting there at the dealership paid for her to get her car fixed. So stuff like that always happens. These crazy experiences are happening because with the oil, you're able to add so much energy, so much high vibrational energy to manifest and to get results for those who need them. So I started doing this a year and a half ago, less than 2 years for sure. Yeah, not 2 years just yet.
Yeah. And even getting to Korea initially was
Yeah,
all miraculous. So
yeah.
to see the evolution with ability and modality is so awesome. Um,
Absolutely.
and what's like in Vietnam? How do you enjoy
Ooh.
it?
I love it because Vietnamese people they're just so welcoming of different cultures. Like, if I think sometimes when you go overseas, the food can be a big hindrance for a lot of Americans because we like very specific things. Vietnam has everything you ever wanted and then some. Everything. The vegans are happy, the vegetarians are happy, keto people are happy. The Westerners, burgers, macaroni and cheese, etc., and so forth. Vietnamese food, Japanese food, Korean food, food from Thailand, food from Taiwan. So many different cultures come here because they understand Vietnam is very affordable and they're very welcoming people. So it feels good to be here. It's super nice. It's awesome. Yeah, man, I love it. I really do love it. Like in this area where I'm living, it's a combination of Vietnamese, Japanese, and Korean culture. So I get all different types of food, people, culture in this area I live. So it's really nice. It's awesome.
Do you speak some of the language?
I do not.
Uh,
I do not. No.
okay. Do they speak some English? Of course,
They
obviously.
speak tons of English. Yeah, tons of English. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and when you were talking about the road opener oil, what oil exactly was that?
What oil, like what carrier oil was it?
Yeah, someone wanted to know what oil exactly is Darius talking about? Some sort of good luck oil.
Okay, what oil? Got it. Well, for the sake of yeah, perfect. So Michi answered the question. Road opener oil. So road opener oils opens up doors of opportunities for you. So one might say that's good luck, right? But I think to be more specific, it's removing.
Got him. The glitch monster. I just snapped it away. Um, Darius will be back very shortly. And we have number 3. We're going to keep a counter now just to see this level of interference here. Shazam! Yep, see? It's the magic word. It works every
My
time.
back.
Yes, sir. We Shazammed you back. It's all good.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Am I back?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. There we go. Okay. Oh lordy. This wife. Okay, here we go. So road opener oil energy is to open up doors of opportunity and to remove stagnant energy, right? So oftentimes we have a set perception of how we want things to go. So success oil, for example, is very different from a road opener oil. Success oil usually works within the frame of our mindset. So I want this job.
Wait. Watch. I got something for you. You ready? Bam! Son! Yeah! Yeah! Shazam you again.
Jeez, I don't know what's going on. All right.
I want to think it's a Wi-Fi issue, but we never had any issues before.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, success oil is very specific in the sense that it works within the concepts of our mind. So I want success when I'm applying for this job, right? And you'll get the job. Road opener oil is spontaneous. It comes in ways you don't expect. It comes from left field where you're focused on here. I had plans of living in Korea for several years, but I was thrusted into moving into a completely different country, which I would have never thought to even move to because of that oil. It opens up doors in ways you cannot perceive. Whereas success oil or another type of oil, it's very much what you can perceive and where you can focus your energy. Road opener oil kind of comes from the left. It's the energy of Mercury, right? Mercury is a very fast moving planet, very fast moving, often deemed as unpredictable, right? So very much that energy. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now that you've already kind of spoken on that, let's explore the different types of oils.
Yes. Let's dive on in. So I'm going to share my screen. Awesome. Give me 1 second. Awesome. So I'm on astro.com. I love astro.com. I've heard some negative stuff about it. I love astro.com. So I think it's astro.com/horoscopes. So
It's my favorite.
say it again.
It's my go-to site. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so much on this site, man. It's so much here. So the first thing you want to do is go to free horoscopes. When you go here, you'll then get this option of interactive horoscopes, right? So Astro click that where it says portrait, Astro click portrait, click on that. And if what you'll do is go to add a new person. So I've already put in my information here, but I'm going to show you how to do it, right? So if I want to add a new person, I will put in their name, their gender, their location, their date of birth and the time they were born and the location of their birth. So it is very important that you have the time of your birth. If you don't know the time of your birth, we can still technically determine your most powerful conjure oil, but it's not as accurate. So you really want that time of birth. So once you put this in there, you're then going to look at that chart that it represents, right? And you'll notice this might seem, well, you guys follow the PTO, so maybe it's not as foreign to you, but this might seem a little strange, right? So you have all these different things here. So these are the planets, right? So when I'm determining your most powerful conjure oil, I only look at the 7 classical planets of astrology, okay? So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are the only planets I really pay attention to. So once you have this here, you want to go through those 7 planets and see, okay, does the sun, for example, have how many squares, or with the sun, how many trines, right? So trine sextiles are harmonious energy. And what that does in terms of conjure, it gives that planet a boost of energy. So when it gives that planet a boost of energy, that planet becomes stronger and that associated conjure oil becomes stronger as well. For example, the sun is associated with success oil, right? So success oil is like you perceive it to be. Let's say you want a job, and right, you use that oil, apply for jobs, you're going to get success, right? Very easy to understand, right? So the sun is associated with success. So what you would do is you would count the trines and sextiles and compare that to the squares, okay? So trine sextiles are harmonious energy. Squares means there's like some sort of conflict or tension, right? The energy needs to be worked out on. So if you do a quick look here, you'll see I have 1 trine, the sun trine, my midheaven, and 1 square. So in this case, I would call this 0, right? It's neutral. So you got a +1 and a -1, cancel each other out, it's 0. So looking at this, I know that the success oil is not my specialty oil. So we now know that it's not success. Let's move on to the next one. So from the sun, I always go to the moon. So if you click on the moon, you'll see, oh, I have 2 sextiles here. So that's +2, no squares, awesome. So that's a +2 for the moon. And the moon is associated with amplification oil. Amplification oils are just as you might perceive them to be. They amplify energy, all kinds of energy. So if you think about it, it makes sense because the moon fuels emotions and emotions fuel manifestations. It's one thing to have a thought, right? But it's another thing to have a thought fueled by emotion, right? We can all know about the times we've had thoughts that were fueled by emotions. Be very aware of that. So the moon associated with emotions are going to amplify the energy and as a result, amplify the manifestation. So the moon is associated with amplification oils. As we can see here, I have +2, right? So +2 there. Let's move on to the next one. So far the moon is the strongest one with a +2. After the moon, I then go to Mercury. So Mercury right here is in Virgo. I have 2 trines there in a sextile. So that's 3 +3 for Mercury. So far, there's no squares with the Mercury. +3 for the Mercury, no squares. So my Mercury is now the strongest one. And Mercury is associated with road opener oil. So I've already done my chart. I already know what my strongest is. And I know that Mercury is the strongest. And as I just mentioned, road opener energy tends to be spontaneous. It tends to work in ways that you are not aware of. Again, I never thought I would live in Vietnam, ever. I had plans to move to Korea for a very long time. I've always wanted to go there. Vietnam, Never thought about it ever in my life. So yeah, road opener energy is very spontaneous, happens out of the blue when you're least expecting it. Okay. So looking at that, that's so far the strongest, right? For the sake of explaining, I'll go to the other planets as well. But so far, Mercury has a +3, right? From there, we can go into Venus. Venus is this guy. So Venus has 3 as well. Ooh, there's a tie, right? And it makes sense because they're conjunct. My Venus and Mercury are conjunct, right? So how do you break a tie? How do you break a tie? So there's a +3 for Venus and a +3 for Mercury. So what you then do is to look at the sign the planet is in. So Mercury is in Virgo, and that's exactly where Mercury shines, right? I believe it's ruled and exalted in Virgo, and it's just ruled by Gemini. So if you look at this and you see that it's in Mercury, you can give it a +1. Is it? That's weird. Okay, whatever. So we now know that Mercury is in Virgo, it's a +1. So now that brings a total to 4. Whereas Venus does terribly in Virgo. So honestly, I could give it a -1. So instead of +3, it becomes a 2. So Venus now has 2, where Mercury now has 4. You see how we broke that tie? What's happening? Not they're doing an update the second I want to do this. What? Okay, so let me see if I can go back really quick.
See, it's not a coincidence that like your video is freezing and now they want to do an update.
Yeah, what is going on? Okay. So let me see. Do I have? I don't have my chart saved. Oh man, but okay, but we can use this instead. So let's look at this. So this is what I give my students so they can track their information. So as we saw, Mercury had 3 blue, right? And it had 0 reds. As a result, the power level is 3, which means so far, the road opener oil is my strongest oil. We also saw Venus had 3 as well. So how do you break that tiebreaker again? You want to look at the sign. So my Mercury was in Virgo. My Venus is also in Virgo. Mercury does amazing in Virgo. Venus does terribly in Virgo. So I can give this a -1 if I wanted to. I can give this a +1. So now you see the power level is still in the favor of that road opener oil. So do you see how all we're doing is we're counting the harmonious aspects and comparing them to the aspects that are not good, the squares, right? So blue lines are quote unquote good, red lines are bad. Now, for example, as you can see, road opener oil is my strongest oil, but let's say I want to eventually make a love oil. Well, here's what you would do. Let's say you want to manifest love, right? You wanted it to be love because you want to manifest love in your life. What you would do is use your road opener oil to open up doors of opportunity in love. Does that make sense? So that way you're still using the energy of Mercury. You're still using the energy of a road opener oil, but you're manifesting love. And you can do this type of, see how I'm keeping the base of the oil the same, but I'm manifesting something different. Let's use wealth oil. Let's say I had wealth oil as my specialty, but I wanted to manifest love. I could use this to get an abundance of love. I could say, okay, when I'm petitioning, when I'm chanting over this wealth oil, I'm still making a wealth oil, but I can use and apply it for the abundance of love. That way you're still working within your specialty for different desires you may have. So I have students who have I have one student who has a road opener oil, but she used it for her marriage to open up doors, and she saw instant improvement for her marriage. So you see how that works? You can still apply these things to different avenues, right? Success oil can be applied for love or for wealth. I want success in finances. I want success in love, right? Amplification is a very easy way to adapt that to different desires, right? So regardless of what your specialty is, doesn't really matter because you can apply each of these oils to manifest anything, right? Protection, you can protect your wealth. You can protect your love for others or protect your marriage, right? So you can apply these to different things. I will say that Saturn, I have about 140 something students, 150 something, and I only have one student who has protection oil. Only one of them has protection oil. So I will say this is the rarest one. It doesn't mean that if you get it, you're cooler than me or whatever. It's just rare. I don't know. It's just how it works out. Maybe it's a generation because Saturn is such a slow-moving planet. Maybe I haven't come in contact with someone who is of a certain age. So maybe that's why. which would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense actually, because Saturn is such a slow-moving planet. It stays in a location for quite some time. It takes like 28, 29 years to make a full transit, right? So it makes sense. And majority of my students are around the same age. So that makes sense why I wouldn't have come in contact with a protection oil. But yeah, so a lot of times I'll get a question about my oil is wealth, but I wanted love. My oil is love, but I wanted success, right? It doesn't matter, because what you can do is use what you're best at to get what you want. So what I teach my students to do is to make their specialty, then how to apply it in different ways, right? So while you're making it, you can chant in different ways. You can speak petitions in different ways to ensure that you're able to manifest your desires. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And you explain more that concept, which I think is very powerful. So basically, like, oh, we're back on the website. So basically, like, let's say I want a power oil, right? But
Right.
my major in protection, hypothetically. What are ways you can make up for maybe weaknesses in one area to do another?
Right. Yeah. So if power is with Mars. Mars is like that very like when I think of a power oil, it's more like CEO boss type energy. You see what I'm saying? Like do as I say, domination. Like do as I say, not you know what I mean? Like if I say do this, do it. That's power oil energy. So if you want a protection, think about it. Who would really try and fuck with a boss or a CEO? So a power oil will instill that power in you, so that protection it comes with it. Does it make sense? So
How to use the oil? Like if you know someone is attracted to power, you can use a power oil for love.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. People who own their shit and are confident in themselves are magnetizing, are like almost addicting. Like people who, like Jay-Z, for example, isn't traditionally attractive, but he has that energy to him where he is attracting some Beyonce. You see what I'm saying? So he has that boss CEO energy. Yeah, absolutely.
And so let's say I wanted to do a protection spell, but because actually my dominant planet is Venus, right? So I'm like the love Conjure guy. So would I be like, okay, I love protection, and that's
Yes, I love the safety of my home. I love the safety of my business. I love X, Y, and Z. I love, yeah, exactly. Yep.
I almost thought you said I love the safety of my bitches. I was like, oh, Darius the pimp.
Oh,
all right, that's what's up though. So
yes.
with power, right? Like I love power, or I love my roads changing. So this is how you can kind of
Exactly.
all right. What do you suggest with using oils that you have a negative score on? Do you
Ooh.
encourage that, or could you be better the more you practice, or what do you think about it?
Exactly. So conjure and magic is like a muscle. It's like a muscle, right? Sometimes you might have better biceps, but I might have better abs, right? So when I go to do an ab exercise, it's naturally easier for me. But when I go to do biceps, it's harder. But over time, you can work that muscle, right? But in the beginning, you want to start. So when it comes to conjure, you want to start with what you're good at first. And by working that muscle, the other muscles will be worked as well. So when you go to make a different type of oil, you're actually boosting up the power of that as well. It's like you're gaining more experience. Think of it as an RPG, right? So the more you level up, your stats increase. So you might have really good intelligence right now, but your strength isn't there, your dexterity isn't there. So when you level up, all of your stats increase, right? By focusing on your one specialty conjure oil, you're leveling up. As a result, your stats are increasing. Makes sense. I know you guys like video games like I do, so I hope that's a really good example. Like an RPG.
So you said like an RPG, you can develop the experience.
Yeah, I guess I broke up, but yeah. So like an RPG, let's say that your stats are in strength you have 12, intelligence you have 14, and dexterity you have 9, right? So intelligence is obviously your strongest suit, right? So you got to focus on that, on magic or whatever. And when you level up, all of your stats increase. So strength goes up, intelligence goes up, and dexterity goes up. Even though dexterity is your weakest, it's still improving over time. So you want to focus on your best at, right? Like if you're strongest in intelligence, you're going to use magic to kill the enemy and level up. And when you level up, all your stats increase. When you focus on your specialty conjure oil, you're going to use that to manifest and level up. When you level up, all of your oils will increase in power. Make sense?
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
here's another thing that I think is great, because some people identify with some of the energies. So let's say Venus could be your strongest energy, but Mercury is on your AC. So like you
Mm,
you wouldn't need a strong road opener because you are the road opener. You're just strong,
correct.
right? So
Yeah.
what do you feel about, going to other people? Let's say you're the road opener guy, I'm the love guy. Could I go to you for road opening and you can come to me for love? Or what do you think about that?
You absolutely can, right? It's kind of like a chef. I'm pretty sure Gordon Ramsay goes to other chefs to try their food for fun, right? Because he understands the French cuisine while someone else might be American based, right? So he goes to these different chefs to try their cuisine because that's what they're best at. So it's really exactly. So what I do in my course is I allow people to exchange their oils and their items. That way they're able to test the potency of their items, but also experience how someone else's conjure affects themselves. So it's one thing to only be reliant on someone else's magic and to not try to tap into yourself. And there's a whole other thing to know that you're good and you're great, but you want to have other experiences as well, right? Like a chef, like Gordon Ramsay, obviously can cook, right? But he also wants to try the cookings of other people, and that's fine. It'd be completely different if he was a chef, but he was never cooking himself, right? So as a conjurer, as a manifestor, you want to, of course, have your own magic, but it's perfectly okay to exchange magic to other people as well, for sure. Yeah,
And I really do like that, because that's the other thing I want to ask. Like as a chef, you want to have your own magic, so you don't want to rely on other people.
exactly. You don't want to rely, but you still can test. Like food is great, right? We love food. Magic is fun too. So you might do something that I'm not doing, and I can learn from you as well. Yeah.
I really appreciate how you're giving us tools to like expand a whole nother dimension of a magic. It's like, we can. I can see so many of us really experimenting with what's possible and
Yeah.
gaining a wonder and excitement, like, oh, I got this results this time. How can I tweak this? How can I make this better? What
Yes.
can I exercise, because the whole notion, and let's really step to that now. Before we come back to this, like, what does conjure mean to you? What does it mean to conjure?
Ooh, so there's a few different definitions. Let me stop sharing my screen. It's my face on. Awesome. So there's a few definitions. So you have the traditional definition, you have my definition. So the traditional definition is you're conjuring physical people. So you're conjuring your auntie, your cousin, deceased loved ones, right? You're conjuring ancestors. And conjure comes from hoodoo. So traditionally, hoodoo was created when Africans were taken from West Africa during the slave trade to the Caribbean and the Americas. So it was created to defend and protect our lives and for us to thrive in harsh environments. So that is the origin of hoodoo. And conjure kind of stems from that because as generations progressed, people wanted to invoke those entities, those energies of our ancestors who were the originators of this practice. So that is the traditional sense of it, right? You're conjuring these actual people who existed on this realm. That's the traditional version, and that's fine. If that is your thing, it ain't my thing. All right, here's why. Because I believe that yes, I'm black in this life. I could have been Puerto Rican in my last life. I could have been Jamaican. You see what I'm saying? I feel like this life is just one of many lives I've experienced. I believe that this is one of your many lives. So I don't want to just tap into this specific life. I want to tap into all of them. I want to tap into all the lives, all the power I possess, all the different dimensions, the different universes that exist in this world. So when I conjure, I'm drawing forth energy. I'm not focusing on a specific person. I'm focusing on energy, which can come from several different lifetimes. It can come from several different dimensions, several different planets, right? That's how I perceive it. So I'm conjuring in that way. That's my definition of conjure. And that's what I'm teaching. I would mention what I do. I would say, oh, I'm conjuring things, right? Conjuring energy. And people would immediately think I'm raising the dead, right? But that's not what I'm doing at all. Not at all. I'm focusing on conjuring high vibrational energy, a lot of times that are coming from pure source, pure energy. Whether it's this planet or another planet, it is pure and it feels great, right? So that's what I'm working on. So I don't know if I mentioned it with your audience, but I have mentioned before that when I was homeless, spirits came to me, and those spirits were Arcturians. So Arcturians were intergalactics who specialize in energy work, are very intellectual individuals. So they would come to me during that time to assist me while being homeless. So those were clearly not my aunties, my cousins, right? But they were obviously spirits who were with me, guiding me to get this point. So for sure, be very aware of that. When I find that when you focus on deceased loved ones, you're limiting yourself from the power that you can truly tap into. And that's why I'm so confident when I say my students get results, because you're tapping into multiple types of energies, not just the ones that live on the physical earth. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And please hit that like button, y'all.
Hey, hit the like. Yes. Absolutely.
Nice. What is your favorite thing about Conjure?
It's like a video game. Like I love that you brought up that example of leveling up and using different muscles. It's like a video game. I love anime. I love RPGs. So I've always wanted to be a magician. I always play the magic use. I never get a sword or anything or a bow. I want the magic because it's so cool to me, right? It's so Conjure is like magic in real life. I'm a magician in real life. That is exactly why I love it so much. Yeah. And I want to just remind people that they can do this too. That I'm not special. I'm the same as you, right? I'm the same as you. And I'm just reminding you of what you already do. Right? Of course, you might need the step-by-step process to do it, but I'm not giving you your power. You already have your power. You're already the magician, right? For sure.
Which is awesome too. I feel like this really this really enables one to, once they get past their own doubts and realize, oh wow, I can manifest consistently with this,
Yes.
then it's like, okay, how do we master the style and form? Like now, how
Exactly.
do I make this a part of my lifestyle? What can I really open up
Yes.
and like really
Yes.
start to step into it and open up with this, ability,
Exactly.
which is
Exactly. Once you get that first big manifestation, you want to optimize. You want to focus on how to fine tune and optimize. Yes. And that's very possible. That's actually something I show my students. I show them how to optimize and how to ensure. One of the modules in my course is literally called Manifesting with a 100% Success Rate. Because when you're optimizing, what you're doing is you're removing all the small little obstacles that could potentially get in your way. That way, when you do conjure, it works every single time because it's very possible. It's like science, right? Yes. Oh, Mag Sand. Yeah, that's a good question. So Saturn dominant will conjure during Saturn transits. You don't have to wait because a Saturn transit, that's gonna take forever, right? You don't want to wait for that. So no, you don't have to rely on your power planet being in an optimal sign for you to conjure, right? So let's use a Mercury because Mercury is very fast. So let's say Mercury is in Virgo, but you want it to be so let's say road opener oil is your specialty, right? Mercury's in Virgo, right? So you're conjuring and that's awesome, that's great. Let's say that tomorrow it's in Libra. Do you wait to conjure until it gets all the way back into to Virgo? No, you can still conjure while it's in Libra as well. What's going to happen is you're just going to, it's the result might not just be, I guess I don't want to say it'll be weaker. It just won't have the same oomph, right? Because as you know, the transits are affecting life. So of course, if Mercury is in its dominant sign, then that type of energy is more prevalent. But you can still get results all day, for sure, for sure. I wish I knew. I kind of want to see what the transits were when I made a road opener oil in December of 2019. That would be awesome to kind of make comparisons to see how Mercury was performing. I can look that up actually. Let's see. December 4th was the day I moved. 2019 transit. What was going on? So I'd be curious to know what was happening in the world, or at least astrologically. Okay, daily aspects, calendar. Let me go birth chart. That's what I want, birth chart. I'll share my screen and show you guys. I can't find like a birth chart. Hold on. I guess it depends on my location too, right? So let me go there. I'll share my screen and keep you guys know. Okay, so I'm gonna do a new person. I'll make this Darius. Fourth of December, 2019. I don't know what time it was. It was in the evening. Let's say like 6 p.m. Yeah, I was in Korea, South Korea. That's weird. Maybe it's just Korea. Okay, it's north. Okay, cool. So I was in Gyeongbu. There we go. So let's see what Mercury was time. So Mercury, Scorpio in the 6th house. So which will make it on my 8th house because that's where my Scorpio is. So yeah, the Mercury wasn't really in an optimal location. It wasn't really doing anything crazy to assist me, but I was still able to manifest that miraculous move, right? Let me see if I can combine these two, actually. Let's see how that works out. Combine this one with the regular one. Are we live? Okay, awesome. But yeah, nothing, yeah. This is a very long way to answer that question, but yeah, nothing crazy is going to really make a difference. Whether you have to, I don't want you to wait till Saturn is transiting in a dominant location for you to conjure. It's not needed or required to get results. Yeah, awesome. Does that help? I don't know if that helps. Okay. Lamp lighter. If they're blocking you, you really don't want to be around them. Oh, you're replying to someone else. Scar, where can I get my tool? So I use astro.com/horoscopes. So go to astro.com. It's really, really. Yes. Mags, technically speaking, every day is a good day to conjure, homie. For the record, you're conjuring right now. You've been conjuring. Yes. Where can I get your tool? Yeah, Scar. I think I answered that. So yeah, if you go to astro.com and put in your information, you do need your time of birth, though. I will say that. You do give the information accurately. Yes. Loving these questions. If you guys have more questions, let me know. So I can only see questions that are coming in through YouTube. I know we're also on Facebook right now. Oh, the graph I'm looking at. So that's a graph that I give my students. I guess what you would do is just use a pen and paper. Just use a pen and paper, homie. But yeah, I can't see comments if you're on Facebook. Let me go on Facebook so I can open it up. So I know we're on Facebook too. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
There's no Facebook. You'll see them come up if they come up.
Got it. Okay.
Great. But what do you mind sharing any results any of your students have had in their specialties?
Oh yes, I love to. Sure, absolutely. I can show you the screen. I want to show you like actual. What page is that? Okay. I love to share it. Yes. So awesome. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to share my screen right now. And share that screen, Mike. I'll show the screen. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So I mentioned this one earlier, right? This person said they were having troubles in their marriage. They used a road opener oil and it worked. So let's see. But what really surprised me is I made a road opener oil to let love flow in my marriage and remove blockages. The changes have been almost immediate. We're doing a lot better. Yes. This person says, so wealth is my specialty. And I decided to try other oils because why not? Well, my road opener oil works, and I just got a free trip to Colorado next month using it. This person, check update. I have worked with Jupiter in the past for wealth. However, nothing was met. I made a road open oil for my husband last Wednesday. He used it for the first time on Thursday morning. Friday morning, he facilitated one of the easiest deals by connecting two business partners. In 15 days, will pay us $50K and over $18K per week for 52 weeks. That totals $1 million. I waited to share after we saw all documents signed. This person, my love oil. Here's a pic of the oil I conjured over last week. Rose essential oil. I also used juniper berries instead of the lavender I used before. So far, I've already received 2 reviews and they haven't even received the oils yet. I love that. So she has a business selling her oils. And this person is, before the person received the oil she was shipping them to, they got results. I love that. This is a really good one because she's also selling her oils too, and she got a nice review. So this person says, people like to use oils to dress candles, but oils are used for more than regular modern day magic. I used this road opener today to give myself Reiki. I unblocked my chakras quickly and effectively. It took less than 2 minutes. It's the equivalent of seeing a spiritual healer for an hour worth of healing. I'm incredibly happy with this purchase. Great investment. That's awesome. So that's amazing. When your student has customers getting results, that's amazing. So Camille, people are giving her results. That's awesome. I love that. Here's another one. So this person is also a student of mine. Honest review of my Conjure oil for men, and they said the fragrance is fire. Listen, I've worn it ever since that night, and I feel like it really attracts people. It smells like grown money with money. Yes, great fucking job. That's awesome. These are my favorite types of results. It's one thing for my students to get results, but to know that they're using their own oils for someone outside of themselves, that's real awesome. It's like a domino effect, where we're passing the torch. That's awesome. Let me see if I have some other ones. Let me see. I have more. I don't always post them. I sometimes forget. So yeah, this is the page to sign up for the masterclass. I think it's linked somewhere in the bio of this. But yeah, those are good. This person, oh, this is a good one. I signed up for the Conjure Oils free masterclass the other week, and whoa, I just connected my power ancestor who is in no way related to me. I just saw your post about ancestors not necessarily being your departed loved ones, and just thought to share my experience. She came through so powerfully and with herbal knowledge too. Hey, now I know I'm about to sign up for the main course by the end of this month. Thank you so much. Your work is inspirational. Awesome. Let me go to my Facebook group too. We have some there that I don't always share. Let me see. So I give my students a Facebook group to make sure we're interacting and stuff. I know Sakila has one. Let me see. Let's see. So you'll see in the bottom right corner, you see like these little charts right over here. What I do is I have my students track their energy level. So track positive compared to negative. That way you can optimize going forward with your conjure. So tracking how high level your vibration is. So that's what those charts are in the bottom right corner of the screen over here. But I want to show you guys just one testimony that came through recently. I think it's like 2 weeks ago or something. That was real awesome. That I love so much. Awesome. It's coming up. Here we go. So in my course, what I do is I offer weekly energy healing sessions. The Sunday energy sessions with Loretta have been awesome. Last week after the energy work and in the midst of doing my heart expansion 7-day challenge, my business partner and I closed a 6-figure contract for our consulting firm, $70K plus 20% of a projected $300K in revenue, our largest cash contract so far. So yeah, stuff like this happens on a regular. I know this person had results. Let me see. See something from up and pop up. That was the chart we were using earlier. Let me see. Feel free to ask some questions, you guys. I'm not on the screen right now, but once I get back, I'll definitely answer those questions too. There's something I want to share. This is a good one. So this person, yay fam, just created my specialty oil last night. Wore my Smells Like Success oil today for the first time. And I have not marketed my business in a few months. And today, out of the blue, 2 past clients marketed my program. And people are raising their hands and inboxing me because they're interested. So she made her oil on Sunday, on a Monday. People out of nowhere were saying, hey, I want to pay you for your course or your business, even though she hadn't mentioned it in a long time. That's awesome. That's one win. There was something else I wanted to share. Maybe that was it. Oh, yeah, yes. So within 48 days of discovering my specialty oil, I manifested beyond belief. I have not even created my oil yet. Just knowing and thinking in terms of power and success. I went from how the heck am I going to pay these bills this week to, oh my God, 6K was just deposited in our account, and wow, 5K from unexpected places. I mean, totally out of conscious knowing, could not have been more surprised and ecstatic. Loretta's energy healings have massively helped, and Darius Mills, your coaching program, works miraculously. So yeah, I show you how to manifest. I show you how to raise your vibration before you even make the oil, so you're able to get results before the oil is even made. I love because she didn't even make oil yet. She joined the course, I think, a couple of days before posting this and was able to still get results because she learned how to raise vibration and she has access to those energy healing sessions as well. And those are really good too. Yeah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see, we got some questions. Any questions? Oh, it's a good one. Phoenix, have you conjured an archangel? Yes, I have, for sure. Archangel Michael, yes. Absolutely. Very good question. Yes. So you definitely can conjure angels and so forth. But what I teach my students to do is to focus on their power ancestors. So for you, it could very well be an archangel. It could also be a Hindu deity or an Egyptian god, right? Or someone you aren't even aware of, which is also really fun too. But yeah, totally. Have I used patchouli oil? Years ago, back when I wasn't conjuring with that type of oil before. I used it a long time ago for sure. Yeah, when it comes to carrier oils, I recommend the sweet almond oil. Yes, yes, yes. Tiffany Hall, yay. How is life for you in Asia, brother? Wishing you the best. Thank you for the wonderful you share. Hey, life is great, fam. Life is good. I don't plan on coming back to America for a long time. Let's just say that. I'm doing real good over here. Yes. Awesome. Great questions. I'm definitely going to your website, Darius. I'm really interested now. Awesome. Thank you, Scar. Yes. What's good, Oscar? Scar. That's awesome. Yes.
Oscar,
welcome on in. Welcome on.
I've ever seen the how the zodiac signs wake up. Oscar is the star of that video. That's my most viewed YouTube video to date.
Really? I gotta watch it then.
100,000 views. Yeah, this is
Nice.
the algorithm like just screwed YouTubers, and people are getting views. But like, yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Awesome. All right. Any other question? What's good, Oscar? How are you?
So I guess now we can pick someone from the comments and see their specialty.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's pick someone. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, yeah. So I need your birth date, your time of birth, and the location. So whoever that is, yeah, let me know. Hey, Anastasia, yes. I just went and signed up on your group on Facebook group. Love it. Hey, yes, welcome to the family, homie. So yeah, drop your date of birth, your time of birth, and location of birth. I'm gonna do a couple people and I'll go through it. And drop the city and the country. Yeah, I'm not really. I need times too. You need time. So let me Okay, perfect. So we're going to do Shaman Renee. Saturn return in Aquarius. What kind of energy would you suggest as well as Conjure? I suggest your strongest from day one. I don't think you should be muddling with things that are not your strongest. Awesome. So we're going to use your, I want to determine your strongest right now because you gave me your everything I need. So Shimin Renee, you are up. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through how I do this. So the first thing you, can you put the screen up there? Big mic. Up there. Awesome. So go to astro.com first. Astro.com. Okay, I don't know what that is. Horoscope. Okay, so once you go here, you then go to free horoscopes, Astro click portrait. Click where it says add a new person. I'm just want to put Renee, because that's what I recall her name being. And what would you put? So 10 month, date, year, right? So female, month, 3rd of October, 1962. New York City, oh, time of birth is 5:23 p.m. New York City, New York. New York. It should pop up. Awesome. Okay, no, not Florida. No. But it's going to produce your chart. And then I'm going to walk you through how to do this. So I have a lovely little spreadsheet here. Let me zero this out. Okay. So what I want to do is first start with the sun. I want to find where the sun is on your birth chart and see if it has any blue lines and compare those to the red lines, right? So your sun has a triangle and a sextile, so that's +2. Do I see any squares? I do not, so that's +2. So I see 2 blue lines and 0 red lines. So far, success oil is your strongest, but let's keep going, right? Then you have the moon. Let's go to the moon. The moon. So the moon has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares and 2 blue. So I can clearly see this is not a strong, but I'll put it in anyway for the sake of showing at the end. So it's definitely not an application oil. So let's go to Mercury. Mercury. So, okay, 1 and 1, right? A square and a sec. Go to Venus. Venus, 1 triangle. Okay, that's a +1, no squares. +1 for the Venus. Mars. Mars is right there. So +1, -1, right? So that's going to cancel each other out as well. Oh, wrong screen. So far, it's looking like success, but let's keep going. Jupiter's next. Jupiter. Jupiter, so 1 and 1, 1 and 1. That's going to cancel each other out 2. So it's looking like success. Let's see Saturn. 1, 2, yep. So 2 good, 1 bad. So right off the bat, you can see here that the strongest you have will be that success oil, right? So for you, it's funny you asked the question right before we did this. You asked what should you make first? What oil you should make first? Make success oil first. That will be your strongest at. So according to your birth chart, your strongest is success. You're happy with that, but you want to dive into oils. Let's determine your second strongest, right? So the next 2 strongest are love oil and protection, but I want to break that tie. I don't like ties. So I would go back to where Venus is and then see what sign that is in, right? So Venus is in Libra. I'm pretty sure Venus does best in Libra and in Pisces. Mike, can you confirm that? I'm pretty sure it does that, though, right?
Venus is exalted in Pisces,
In
but
Libra and in, oh, no, that's not Venus. What? What am I doing? Okay, Venus is actually in Scorpio. My bad.
It's in its dignity in Taurus and Libra, and it's in its exaltation in Pisces, but it's fall in Scorpio.
Ooh, okay, good to know. So that's a -1 for you, So yeah, that's not your second strongest. So I'm gonna. And it's not at that, right? So ruled by, I think, Aquarius, I think too. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, your second strongest would be this protection oil. So I would give it a +3 for that one. So your strongest would be, oh, did it go up? What was it before? Was it 1 and 1? Yeah. Ooh, so I still believe your strongest is success oil, then it will be Saturn, because this was the strongest by default. We had to use a tiebreaker to make this even stronger. So first it'll be success oil for you, and then protection oil. Yes. Awesome. Let's do some more. Let's do a few more. I'm going to stop sharing for now, just to get back. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to use this one. T. Valentine, July 10th, 1996. Oh, you're a young buck. You real young. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to do Valentine. If you can add my screen up there one more time, Mike. Valentine. I'm gonna call you T. You T. Your name T. That's T. So T is, I don't know your gender. So I'm just gonna say other.
She.
I don't know your gender. So
Female.
Female. Okay. July 1996. New Jersey. So USA and Trenton. Pop up. Trenton to the popular place. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, same process. Very same process. We're going to zero these out. Start from the very beginning. So the sun, let's start with the sun. So the sun has +2. Success oil is winning so far for you. No negatives. Let's move on to the moon. The moon in Taurus. Ooh, okay, amplification. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go through the motions, but it's definitely amplification all day. So no squares, nothing negative, all great things, and a great sign it wants to be. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it right now is clearly amplification, but let's just go through the motions, right? So Mercury is next. Okay, so 1, 2, +2 -1, +2. 1, 2 +2 -1 as well. I've never seen, I always say this, the highest I've seen is 4, and that was mine. I saw a 4 for a road opener. I've never seen a 5 ever on this chart from any of my students. So that's awesome. Congrats. Mars. Okay, Mars. Okay. So on 1 square, no good, only 1 bad. Jupiter. Jupiter and Capricorn. Jupiter, 1 good, 1 bad. Cancel each other out. Oh, bad. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3 and 3. Okay. 3 and 3. So yeah, clearly it's amplification. You could ride that one to the bank. Just do straight amplification, you good. So amplification first. So if you wanted to break the tie between rotor oil and love, let's see. So Mercury is in Cancer in the first house. I can't give it a +1, and I also can't take away a +1 so far with this one. Let's see where Venus is. Venus, is that Venus? That is Venus. In the 12th house. So I could draw a correlation to it being in the 12th. Could, if I'm stretching, that's the. But I would just leave it. I would just give these the same. I would just say they're both at the same level. I wouldn't try to break the tie even further because I feel like I would just be like pulling at straws, right? Like Venus in the 12th house, ruled by Pisces. Yeah. So I would just go with amplification. You should be good with that for sure. Awesome, really good. Let's do another. What's good, Ruby? I think, yes, that is a female. I can't really see. It's female. Awesome. Okay. And Ruby would be the last person. Ruby. Okay. 7th is July 29th, 1984. Reading. 7th. Reading. CA. Awesome. Ooh, Leo. Interesting. Okay. Let's start with the sun. The sun, 1 +1 and 3, red. 1 and 3. Cancel that out. Awesome. Now on to the moon. The moon. One blue and 2 red. Mercury in Virgo. Okay, 1, 2, 3 blue and then 1 square. So far, Mercury's winning. Venus. Squares and then 1 blue, 1 triangle. 1, 3, Mars. 1, 2, 3 squares and no triangles or sextiles. Then you have a Jupiter. There. Jupiter. 1, 2, 3 with Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter. Maybe it's wealth oil so far. Yep, it'll be wealth so far. Then Saturn. Let's see with Saturn. So 2 and then 1 good. So yeah, it wealth oil. Awesome. And then from wealth, you would then go down to your next one would be road opener. So wealth first and then a road opener. Nice. Very good. But you see how simple this process is? How it doesn't really require you to really do much. I mean, yes, I do have this document, but you should be fine, right? So what you would just do is look at your birth chart and look at the sextiles and trines and think of that as the blue lines or the positive, right? Then go to how many squares, right? Think of that as the red lines or the negative and just count and see, and then do the math, right? So +1, 1 minus 3 equals -2. 1 minus 2, -1. 3 minus 1 equals 2. 1 minus 3 equals -2. 0 minus 3 equals -3. 3 minus 0 equals 3. 1 minus 2 equals -1. And whichever has the strongest power level is going to be the strongest in terms of the oil, right? So you just associate the power level with the oil. Makes sense? That's pretty simple to follow. Awesome. Awesome. Anastasia, are you not able to do anyone without the time of birth? Mine is unknown. I was born in Aden, Yemen. So technically you could, but if there is a tiebreaker, let's say you need to do a tiebreaker, you can't break the tie. So let me give you an example. I'll do yours actually. since you are asking, it's a really good example. So I did stop sharing my screen, so if you can help me out one more time, I bet. I'll do it one more time. Yeah, I want to give her, this is a really good one. So let's do yours. So let's say you don't have the information, right? You have to put, what is your name? Anna, stop. I'm gonna call you Anna. I hope that's okay. I can't spell your name right. Okay, so, all right. So 2nd February, what am I? 28, okay. 1970. Birth unknown. I don't know what country that is. It's Yemen. Let's do the whole world and see what happens. And hopefully this will pop up. Aiden. Okay, here we go. Okay, this should be good. All right. I think it worked out. Let's see. No. Okay, female. Right. Okay, so I have to go to a different one. So if you don't know your time zone, if you don't know, if click portrait, what you have to do instead is go to natal chart, comma, ascended, where it says drawing and calculations. Go to this one and put in your information here. It won't be as pretty or as fun looking, but it's what we're going to work with, right? So I'm just going to copy this over and just copy this. That's really good. So let's do this one more time. The 28th of February, 1970. Unknown. Aiden. Min. Where in the world is that? Huh. So to produce a chart, but you'll notice it doesn't have the houses, right? Because you can't set your houses without the exact time. So the same process, just got to be a little more meticulous, right? Because we can't really click this. If we click it, it just makes it bigger, I think. Yeah. So we can't really like click, oh, Mercury is here, what is connected, right? So we have to use our eyes and hopefully we can see really well. Well, we also have this here, but that's kind of confusing for some of us. So for now, let's just go back to what we know. So let's to you if you time of birth, you would use this method instead. Okay, so the sun is right here. Sun's in Pisces. I see 1 square, I see a trine and a sextile. So that's 2 with a -1. Okay, so far it's 2. So next, go to the moon next. The moon, okay, so the moon is in Sagittarius at 0 degree, okay. I see a trine here, but I see a few squares. So it's a sextile technically, whatever. So it's a +1 and -2. So +1, -2. But you see this that is a little more meticulous. You got to really look closely, and hopefully that sometimes the lines don't overlap, so you can't really tell. Mercury, so it's best if you do know. So that's 1 red, 1 blue for Mercury. 1 red, 1 blue. So this is in the Pisces. That's an opposition. We don't count that. So it's just an opposition. I don't see a trine or a square or anything of that nature. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a square. Yeah. Let's do an opposition. Okay. So there's no plus or minus for this from what I can see in my eyes. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So that'll be 0 for that one. Then you have Mars. Mars. Sextile, and that is it. So +1 for Mars. Where is Jupiter? Right there. Okay. +1. And I don't see a square, just an opposition. So +1. Interesting. Saturn. Saturn is here, opposition, and a sextile. So that's also just a +1. Interesting. So you have tons of ties to break. So let's see how we can do this, because it's kind of tricky with out the houses. Right. So I would start with success. The sun is in what sign? So the sun is in Pisces. I'm not going to give it a +1, but I can't give it a -1, right? Because it's not like it's in Aquarius or something. So I'm just going to leave it as is. That's a 1. Then you have power Mars. Let's see what Mars is doing. Mars is in Aries. Okay, I can give it a +1. Awesome. So Mars is now stronger. If I had the houses, and let's say the sun was in the 5th house, I would say, oh, cool. I can give it a +1. 5th house sun, Leo rulership. Awesome. That's where the sun wants to be. Cool. Right? But so far, I can't do that. So it's a +1. So far, power will. Next, let's go to Jupiter. Jupiter is here in Scorpio. I don't believe that it really matters too much. So it's a neutral. There's no +1 or -1. What about Saturn? Saturn is in Taurus. I could pull a straw out of my hat and say, sure, it's close to Capricorn. They're cousins, right? But no, I wouldn't give it anything. So yeah, using that lines overlapping. Sometimes, like for example, this technically, Sagittarius, I mean Neptune and the Moon are the exact same degree, pretty much. So they both have that connection to the Pluto, right? But thankfully, I know to ignore Neptune. It's not one of the 7 classical planets. But if this was Mercury here, I would just so make it more confusing. Does it make sense? So when you have when you have your time of birth, you can use the other chart. As a result, you can click on it and specifically see what is there. It makes it so much easier. But technically, if you don't have it, you can use this method. It's just work. It's just work. Okay. Awesome. 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 Yemen is. I don't me as an American, maybe coming below me. You guys understand where I'm coming from, but I feel like geographically, I am not there. I am not there. I failed geography in school. I actually failed it. How do you fail geography? I did it. It's a country. Okay. It is a country. Awesome. 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 So mags, you count sextiles and trines as blue as good, and then squares as bad. So sextiles, trines good, squares is bad. Yeah. From my understanding, a trine means the energy is naturally harmonious, whereas a sextile, the energy is harmonious, but you have to flip a switch to make it harmonious. It'll be off if you turn it on, while it's trines, the energy flow naturally, whereas sextiles, the energy has to be turned on, but it's still harmonious. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, you guys. There you go. We are complete. I think I did 4 different people, and I got a really good example of someone who did not have the birth time. That was awesome. That was good. So Loxella says, what oil do I need? I would suggest you use your strongest oil, and you would determine that by looking at the classical planets, counting them. So I think you came a little late. Definitely check out the replay of this, fam, and follow step by step for sure. Hey. All right. All right, y'all. I think we are complete. Yes, we are good.
We do have the link to the masterclass down below. Could you explain more for anyone who just joined what they can expect to gain?
Yes, absolutely. Let's actually show them exactly what happens when they click that masterclass link. I love share my screen. It makes my life easier. So I'm going to share one more time. One more time.
Oh, there we go.
And then, okay, so when you go to the link in the bio or in the description below, it'll show this, right? And what we're going to be discussing is the 3 steps my beginner level students have used to manifest new homes to over 1 million in revenue and new relationships within 3 days. And the best part is they did not use anyone else's magic but their own. So when you set up how you can connect your most powerful ancestor in record time in 5 minutes or less, even if you don't know who they are. I'm going to show you a method on how to do that in this class. Then we're going to learn what I call the SSI method, so you can become herb expert and know how to use the herbs in your pantry. So you can use those herbs to amplify the. And I'm going to show you that without having to go to Google, without having to go to do any research or reading all these books. Then I'm going to show you how to actually conjure over the oils, how to actually add the power to it, how to make sure these oils are potent and popping day one, right? And at the end of the class, so think of this class as a nice sampler, a nice appetizer to the main course. At the end of the class, I'm going to show you how you can enroll in the main course at a discounted price. Okay, so think of the Masterclass as a free appetizer. At the very end, you have the option of joining the main course, which is like the main course, right? The main Conjure and Create course. And that's where all of these testimonials are coming from, that main course. But yeah, fam, so when you click sign me up, let's see if it, awesome. So it's this Monday, May 10th, Monday, 8 p.m. EST. So if you're in the PST, that's 5 p.m. All right, so different time zone. So 8 p.m. EST, you can definitely, of course, change and whatnot. But yeah, so putting your name, your email, you don't have to put in your number, but your name and email are required, of course. Register, and it'll take you. You'll be signed up. You can then check your inbox.
What if I miss the class?
Oh, perfect. So if you miss the class, a replay will be emailed out. So the class ends. So the class starts at 8 p.m. EST. Should finish like 9:30ish. By that time, you'll have an replay in your email. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Awesome. We are complete. But yeah, fam. UK time. Oh, so yeah, UK time. I don't know. It might be late as hell for you. Might be early in the morning for you. So definitely sign up and check your email to make sure you got confirmation, so you can get the replay. Yeah.
Another stunning live. Definitely. If there's anything you can take away from this, it's that it is worth it to know your dominant planet, and
Yes.
experiment with these oils. See what the dominant planet is. See what the weak one is. Use the strong. Use the weak. See what your results are, and feel free to email Darius or I your results. Okay, from using it.
Yes.
Other
Absolutely.
other than that, are there any final words you'd like to share with us?
Ooh. If you missed the last live we did, we went in on that one. For sure. We went in on that last live on the PCO channel. I gave an definitely watch that. That one, all you gotta do is sit back and relax and just watch that video. You're gonna receive the energy. Someone in this chat said they watched that live video, went to work, and made $800 in tips. So yeah, she's popping off. Definitely check that live out for sure. I want to join, but I see clients after 3 p.m. all the way to midnight. If that's not you're referring to the masterclass, so it's going to translate time zones for you. So let's say you do sign up for the masterclass and you're sleeping or it's at a time you can't commit to. If you check your email, a replay will be emailed out. So make sure you put in the right email, Nina. Yes, make sure you put in the right email. Very.
So she'll be able to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Nina, do you have, I think you're referring to the actual class itself. Is that correct? Maybe you're referring to Conjure and Create. I don't know, but email me. I think I might email. Or message me on Facebook or Instagram if you want to dive in deeper into this. But yeah, you should definitely get the replay for sure. Definitely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you once again for joining us. Shout out to Maggie and shout out to everybody. Shout out to Nina. And yeah, y'all stay blessed as always. Darius, thank you for once again blessing us. And we definitely gonna have a channel for sure. So yeah, other than that, y'all stay blessed and until next time, peace out.